Hello, welcome to my channel, Texas Gal Treasures. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing lots of tips and tricks about reselling jewelry on eBay, Etsy, or whatever platform you're wanting to resell on. So whether you're brand new to reselling or you've been reselling, and you're wanting to start reselling jewelry, then this is definitely the video for you because I'm going to go through all the tips and tools that I use. And then I am going to go through a little bit of actual jewelry and show you, this was from one of the last jewelry unboxings that I did, and give you the rundown of like, why did I pick this stuff to sell and not this stuff? And what kinds of things would I have a little pile in front of me. What are the things that I would be looking for when I'm seeing some of this jewelry? Like, why did I pick this? And what do I think it's going to sell for? And things like that. So we'll go through some actual research on eBay to show you how you would find something, especially I know some people are like, what do I do? There's no brand. How do I sell this? So we'll talk a little bit about that as well. So this is going to be pretty comprehensive, and I'm very excited to be able to do this with you today. I am live. I had a little snafu. I started and then realized I hadn't set my mic up. So please let me know if my mic sounds okay. And I am, like I said, live. So if you have any questions or comments, then post them in the live stream comments. And if you're watching later, of course, leave a comment, question that you might have if I forgot something or didn't mention it. And also subscribe to the channel. It really, really helps. And hit the notification bell if you're interested in catching me live. Okay, that's the whole beginning spiel. So hello, let's get started. I'm going to start with the tools. Oh, good. Thank you, Aliana. Hopefully I said your name correctly. I'm going to start with the tools that I use. Did I close that screen too? Oh boy. Yes, I did. I was so prepared before, and then I was like, I forgot. All right, let me get this up for you. So tools that I use. And I'm going to go in order of importance, because when I first started selling, I did not use or have all of these things. But there are some of these things that I would say when you're first starting selling jewelry, you're pretty much going to need them. And I'll explain why. And then as you progress into selling more and more jewelry, there are some tools that are really important to have when you want to make sure that you're listing your items correctly. So the first thing that I would say that you really need is a mandrel. The one with the little ring where you poke your finger through, that's not so important. But this was where is my mandrel? Oh my gosh, I can't believe I don't have it handy. I thought I had everything ready. Mandrel, who's got the mandrel? If you've got the mandrel, then you are it, because I don't have it. So I don't know what happened. Anyway, the mandrel is this tool, this long one that looks like this, that when you slide a ring down on it, it will tell you the size of the ring. And this is going to be super duper important if you're selling rings, because people want to make sure that the ring will fit. So that's really important to have. Not so much I'm not sure what the one is called that's got the I'm making the gesture. Okay. Welcome to live, where I can't edit that out. Okay, so hi everybody in the chat live. Thank you so much for being here. Cover Me and Deborah and Aliana. The next tool that I would say is, oh, these are out of order again. Man, I tell you what, I really did have these in order. Let me go put these back in order. And that way we can, oh, it's not going to do it. I don't want to hide the sidebar. Okay, can I rearrange them? Okay, we're just going to pretend like they're in order, and I'm going to zip through them. Let me get to the next one. This is going to bother me. Okay, so here's the next one that I think is really important, and this is a loop. And the reason that a loop is super important is because if you've got teeny tiny marks in there, and you need to be able to see, like, unless you have amazing eyesight, you need to get in there to see, like, what is that mark, right? And I have got, I don't know what this one is, a 30 times. There's ones that are super duper strong. This one's just kind of like regular, medium strong. They're not very expensive. A lot of times you can find them at garage sales and things like that. And I did link in the description, like a link to my website where I show all the different tools. So a loop is another thing that I think is pretty important early on when you are reselling jewelry. Once again, apologies, because I really did have these in order. Okay, next is a magnet. So this is my favorite magnet. And I just knocked some things off because I was forever losing my magnet. And it was like one of those little numbers, and it would get stuck in stuff and I would always lose it. So I love this one because it's like telescoping and it's like a wand, and if something falls on the floor, I can grab it off the floor. And not that I'm lazy, but I've barricaded in here. So having a magnet is really amazing. A little one would be handy if you're going to garage sales and you don't want to have a big wand out like poking around at things. But why? Why a magnet? The reason that a magnet is important when you're wanting to sell jewelry is that it will help you eliminate some, like if you're trying to figure out if something is silver or gold, if the item is magnetic, it's not going to be silver or gold. Now, I know there are exceptions to this rule, but it's super duper rare. So it's a good rule of thumb to just go with, especially if you're starting, that if it's magnetic, it is not going to be silver or gold. So this ring I know is silver and it is not attracting to the magnet, or vice versa. I'm not. Anyway, so having a magnet, super important. And there were a couple magnets. So this is my favorite one, but there's another magnet. Where is it? Here we go. This rare earth. This one's like a really super strong one, which is a great one to have as well. And that one's, you know, a little bit bigger. Not like a big magnet. All right. Anyway, okay, good question here. Reselling tips and tricks. Do I only sell on eBay or on Poshmark too? At the moment, I am selling on eBay and Etsy. I used to sell eBay, Etsy, Poshmark, Mercari, Facebook Marketplace, whatnot. And because I just moved and we're all over the place. So now I'm just back on eBay and Etsy, and then I'll start probably next up Mercari, Facebook Marketplace, and I'm planning a whatnot show. So that's like, I have to get my feet wet again with whatnot because that's a lot of fun to do as well. Next, and I'm kind of irritated with myself because I really had these in order. Let me see if I can rearrange these real quick because it is going to bother me. I had them all like so arranged, and let's see, sort by name. Thank you. Okay, I did it. I did it. Let's fix this real quick. I'm so glad you guys could be here. Thank you for coming. And nope, wrong one. Here we go. There it is. And share. Let me close off the side. I see your next question. I'm going to answer it. Here we go. There. Do I sell clothing? I sell a little bit of clothing, but mostly like I just sold it's usually, if I'm selling clothing, it has to be something pretty amazing. Like I just sold a Burberry jacket and there was this really cool flight jacket I sold. So I have some clothes, but I don't sell a lot of it. All right, next up. So we went through the mandrel and we sang the song, good for us, and the loop and the Simichrome polish. These are not in order, dang it. I really did put these in order. Okay, you see the numbers on top. Number 4. All right, the next thing you're going to need are things for shipping. And what I mean by this is like, so the jewelry pouches, if I've got like a big chunky bracelet or something like that, or if I've got something like really big that is not going to be damaged, like this is probably not going to be damaged in a jewelry pouch, right? But if I have something with stones or things like that, I might not put it in a pouch. I might put it in a box. And I like to ship in pouches or boxes because it is more professional looking. So they're pretty cheap. You can get them on Amazon. You can get them, there's lots of different places. So different sizes of pouches, and then the jewelry boxes that look kind of like this. And I get mine, I have some I got from Amazon. And once you really get into selling more, I think I got some from Uline, and I have different sizes. So smaller, I don't sell as much big jewelry. So, well, I'm about to eat my words on this one. So that's pretty big. So yeah, there's those. Number 7, this is one that I got fairly early on, and this is a diamond tester. They're like maybe under, I think they're $15, under $20, I'm guessing. But I got this pretty early on because I started getting nervous that I was selling diamonds and didn't know it. So I would have something that was like, this is sterling silver. And from time to time, you can find diamonds in sterling silver. And I would get really nervous that I was selling a ring that was diamonds as something else. So I got the diamond tester. So at least like if I found a little ring, maybe I knew it was an amethyst, but I didn't know if the stones around it were diamonds or white sapphires or what have you, then I would test it with the little diamond tester. In the video, I mean, in the listing, you can put a little video. So a lot of times when I use the diamond tester, or if I test for gold or silver, I'll put a picture of that or a video of that in there. so that the buyers really feel safe, because a lot of people are very hesitant to buy off eBay because they're worried they're going to get scammed. So a diamond tester is a good starting point for wanting to test stones, because at least you get that right, the diamond tester. Then this one is another one, and this one actually came, I think that's where I got my first magnet. It came in a kit like this. Let me make this bigger for you. So this is a gold and silver testing kit. And this became really important to me pretty early on as well, kind of mid-range when I really started ramping up, because stamps are cheap and people can take this, pendant, stamp it 925, and then if you don't have that magnet, to at least check it with the magnet. Oh, look, it's not magnetic. It must be silver. But if you sell it and you're like, oh, they get it. It's like, it's not silver. It's maybe stainless steel, but it was marked 925 because the person who was trying to scam people did that. So having that next line of defense to be able to test your items for gold, for silver, maybe it's gold in color and you think it's going to be gold. It's marked gold. You test it. I have a whole video about fake gold. And if you sold that, then that could really come back to bite you if you're selling on eBay or some of these other platforms, because the buyer doesn't know that you're not the one trying to scam them. They don't realize that maybe you also got scammed because you bought it at a thrift store, garage sale. It was in a jewelry jar and you didn't know either. So this way you can show, like, I tested it, here it is. And I have lots of videos about gold and silver testing. This is, they are acids, so you have to be careful with them. And, I wear rubber gloves or, protective gloves on these and use them. Yeah. So just want to be careful. Oh yeah. You learn that acid test drops can expire. My 10-year-old said isn't to be trusted. True. I just got new acids whenever I moved here to Colorado, because same deal. I was like, wait a minute, this isn't, this is not testing correctly. I actually need to go and figure out how to dispose of the old ones, because I still have them, because you can't, I don't know if I can just throw it away. But the testing kit, it will test for 10 karat gold, 14, 18, I think 20, 22, and then there's like a silver one. And in the videos that I share doing this, I like to use the 18 karat gold to test the silver. I don't know why it works. It's science, but it shows up better, especially because the little the tile that they give you to test with is black. So with the silver acid, when you're rubbing the piece onto the black and then you put the silver acid on it, the silver acid turns red, which is kind of hard to see on the black tile. And for a while there, I had a white, like if you use a white tile, but not the glossy side, the flip it over on the back where it's porous, I would use that to test, and then I could see the red. But if you don't have that, you can use the 18 karat, and that will turn the silver mark to like a milky, silvery, white, blue color. But again, I've got videos on that. Anyway, that's a really important tool to start getting, especially if you start picking up more silver, gold type items. All right, we're on 8, so number 9. Now, this is the big mamma jamma. I have gone through one of these. I'm on my second one already. And this is the Presidium Gem Tester. And this will test for, diamond, moissanite, all kinds of different gemstones, amethyst, just topaz, lots and lots of things. So you test it. And this one is a bit more expensive. So it took a little while before I, as I was reselling, before I decided that was going to be a good addition to my arsenal for reselling. And it was a business expense, so I could write it off. And yeah, I've enjoyed that. The reason I ended up getting a second one is because my first one, it was really hard to calibrate. And supposedly you're supposed to send it in, the other one, not the one I have now. The other one, it was like, oh, you need to send this into the company for them to calibrate it. So I figured out how to calibrate it. It was a pain. Then they came out with a new one that was a lot easier. They had directions on how to calibrate at home. And so I was like, I think I need this, because you want to make sure it's calibrated correctly. So if you're testing an item and it shows up as topaz or emerald or what have you, and it's not, that way, again, I'll put a little video clip. If I have an emerald ring and I'm testing it with that Presidium Gem Tester, I put a little video clip in my eBay listing to show, so that the buyer's like, okay, I feel confident that this is what it says it is. And I know I would want that too, because everybody, you know, you get a little nervous, right? Oh, was it happy birthday? 40th birthday gift from my parents. Totally worth it. I enjoy it, and I enjoy playing with it. It's so fun to play with. Okay, next up, we have got, oh, now, see, they got out of order. So I got to go back to number 10. I'm on number 10. Back. Number 10, this is Simichrome polish. Simichrome polish is if you are finding things like Bakelite. So Bakelite is that vintage plastic, and it's made with formaldehyde and all kinds of fantastic things. There are ways to test it, like dipping it in hot water. There are other tests, but the Simichrome test, where is this, what is Simichrome exactly? It's a polish for something else. But anyway, you can use it to test Bakelite with a little Q-tip. And if you rub it on the Bakelite, say bracelet or what have you, it will come yellow. And so that way, again, you can show in a little video or a picture that you've tested the item to be Bakelite, and that will really increase your sales for the item, because if it's, you know, really Bakelite, it can sell for good money. Okay, then again, you know, not everybody finds Bakelite a lot, so maybe it matters. So these are just some other tools that are good to have, like polishing cloth. If you've got silver, I get the question a lot, do I polish all of the silver items that I find? And the answer is no. Sometimes people like some of that patina on there, which is that kind of tarnish that makes it look a little blackish. But if it is really, really bad tarnish, like black, which can happen, I'll give it a little polish. And another reason for doing that is that sometimes the tarnish can start pocking the silver and damage it. And so if you don't rub some of it off, you might miss that when you're listing it. And that might bother the person that's buying it. So, oh, look at this guy. Isn't that sweet? He'd like to look under my shirt. He doesn't know that I like to play with trolls. So, no, yeah, I know. This is my superpower, and I'm fine with that. But I'm sorry, you got to go now. So see you later. Bye. Anyway, moving on. So polishing cloths are good to have. A lot of times you can get them from different jewelry places. Like I've gotten some from like James Avery, if you've got that near you. Pardon me, I gotta take a sip. So polishing cloths are amazing. The UV light, now wear protective eyewear. I've learned this the hard way. Wear protective eyewear when you're using a UV light to check for jewelry. So things will fluoresce or glow under a UV light. And some of the types of stones that will fluoresce, which means like they'll glow a certain color. So amber and opals, and like there are lots of other stones too. If you're trying to figure out if this is legit, whatever stone it is, and you're searching like, how do I tell if an opal or an amber is really amber, if it's something else, then it says, oh, you need a UV light. So it'll tell you what color it'll fluoresce and all that. So it's good to have. It's not super duper necessary early on, but you might have one laying around or find one at a garage sale pretty easy. Okay, then jewelry displays. So these are kind of like if you want it. I found some at garage sales. I pick them up from time to time, and then I never use them because I usually just flat lay my jewelry. And I actually brought this over here to show you. I flat lay my jewelry, and I have this little teeny pop-up tent, and it comes with like a white one, a black one. I think there's a red and a blue, but I never use them. And the only reason I like to use this for the jewelry is from time to time, I'll have something that's super shiny, and that the light will leave all these reflections and things like that. And so if I have a little pop-up tent, I can put it in there and I don't have to mess with that. So when I do that, and I don't have to worry about the light leaving a reflection, then that can be really good. But you might be able to get away without it if you can find a spot in your house where you can take the picture and not have that reflection on the shiny jewelry. But some things it doesn't like that. It's not really going to matter too much. I have some little earrings here, probably won't matter too much. So, and most of the time I just flat lay it on a white surface or something like that, or dark, depending on the color of the item. Hello. Thanks for being here. All right, next, let me see if did I get through all of my, okay, then, oh, you can't see. Hang on a second. Next up are these, this is Simple Shine, and they have wipes, and this is basically a jewelry or silver cleaning stuff. And I have paste too, but I like these Simple Shine wipes a lot. And what you can do, and they have ones that are like, it's like a, I wish I had it handy. It looks like a tub, and it's got like a foam thing in there, and you can put something in there to soak, and it has the liquids all in there. Or they have these wipes, and with the wipes, it's cool because you can just tear off a little bit of the wipe. You don't have to use the whole thing. And it's got it doesn't, like, the paste stuff like gets irritating on my skin. I should use gloves, but the wipes are really good. I enjoy using those. So they're handy, they're quick, and it'll shine up that silver pretty quick. All right, next. Okay, are we done with that? Okay, those are most of the tools I use. If you are watching and you can think of any tools that I'm forgetting, let me know. But those are the main ones that I use. Okay, so the next part of what I want to talk to you about are the things that, if you're brand new at reselling jewelry, like, and you're looking at a big, let's say you go to a garage sale and you see this and you're like, oh, I don't even know where to start with this, right? Then what you would do is, the first thing that I would say is look for things that are stones, because that's something you can see like that. Stones that you might recognize. So natural stone jewelry, say like these are amethyst, right? So these little amethyst earrings would be something I would pick up, right? And finding stuff like that, or say I find these like abalone earrings. I have a little bit of a shine. It's going to be hard if I try to get it to adjust for you. So got those little amethyst earrings and the abalone ones. And then the next thing that you might look for is something, if you see something that's tarnished, then definitely pick it up. So if you see something, let's see, like I found these little earrings, and you can see that they're silver, but you can see they're like, oh, they're not quite super shiny, right? Like, where did Prince go? Like this guy, yeah, he's silver, but if I see something that is silver but has a little tarnish to it, then that might like draw my attention really quickly, the tarnish. And then, of course, gold stuff. If you see gold, just take a look at it. Now, once you get good at it, it'll be a lot easier. Because like if I saw these earrings, I'm like, okay, they're not real gold. But this bracelet kind of threw me. This was in the latest jewelry jar. It looks like a tennis bracelet, and it's, gold on the sides. It's got the safety clasp. That's another thing I like to look for. If you're seeing bracelets or pieces of jewelry that have safety clasps on them, like this one, to lock it in place, or like a safety chain, those ones are usually an indication that it's a little bit higher quality piece of jewelry. And so that is something to keep an eye out for. So this one turned out to be silver with gold over it, which is fantastic. It's still, silver and gold. And then I remember we were doing this, we were trying to test it. My gem tester needed to be calibrated. So I have to go back, because I think we decided they were CZ, but they might be like Swarovski type crystals. This is an aside. Be careful if you say it's crystal or Swarovski, because if it's Swarovski crystal, there's a whole thing with like putting that it's Swarovski, and you have to make sure that it is really. All right, so those are the first two things, like finding stone, right? So these like amethyst earrings, or if I'm seeing tiger's eye or things of that nature that are clearly natural stone. I'm trying to think if I have anything else in here. I had some shell stuff in there, but yeah, it's so. Those are the first things I would go for: natural stone, silver, gold, right? And then you could start looking for things that have maker's marks. So this big chunky brace, or necklace, I should say, this one has a hang tag on it. So if you see like a little hang tag, check it out, see what's on that one. This one says ink. So that's, what is that one? In New York, ink? No, I can't remember. But if you can't remember, that's fine. Who can remember everything, right? So that's what the internet's for. So those things that have like that. And then here, like this bracelet, we have got this bracelet, which one, it looks really nice, but I know this one, and there's the hang tag on that, and it's got this little cursive B, and that's Brighton. So even if you pick this up and you're like, I don't know what this is, it looks really nice, and I see this little B on it, that's okay because you can always go back later and look it up. So that is Brighton. So this is another brand that's pretty good. So again, I'm going to repeat myself. So stones that you recognize, things that you see that are tarnished, silver, gold, and then if you see things with name tags. And then next, this is another question that I get a lot, and that is, what if it's not marked? What if it doesn't have a label? So like these earrings, you can see on the side, it says guess, right? So guess. Cool. And then these are Kendra Scott, but they're not marked. So unfortunately, sometimes they're not marked, but recognizing good quality. So I'm seeing these, I see these Kendra Scott earrings, not marked, but I know their style and I know the quality of, I'm not sure what stone they've got in there. They usually have stone in them, or nice, really nice pieces of materials for their inserts. But if it doesn't, I'm going to come, this is a good, I'm going to come to this. So how do I identify the stamps on jewelry? I'm going to tell you in just a second. Okay, Rat Boy, typically if the price is right, I'll just buy the whole lot. I've bought several lots over time. Oh yeah, totally. That's me. If I walk, especially if I'm in a garage sale, this is so bad. If I'm in a garage sale and I'm like, there's people. Okay, how much for all of it? And I'll just look at it when I get home. I've done that multiple times. I'm a little blurry now. Okay, one sec. So the next thing is if you find something that is really unique looking. So I have these, this was in the jewelry box, and they're just like, they're not marked. There's no brand on them, but they're cool. They're big, giant, like colorful heart earrings that, wow, right? They're huge. So that's something else I would pick up. Or if I see something like this one where the stones, the little front of it's not turning the right way. So this type of stone where you see like lots of different colors in it, that's called Aurora Borealis. And you might see it listed as AB stone. So AB for Aurora Borealis. So stuff like that, even if it's not marked, there are people who love that style. And then what else have I got? These are, so another thing I would pick up. So these are, they look Art Deco. So they're kind of like a, oh, the word just left my brain, you guys. Not replica. What's the word for the jewelry when it's, I know people are going to be like, how can you not remember? I'm like, because my brain only holds this much. And then when something new comes in, something else has to go out. And sometimes it's words. And the word for, it's kind of like a replica of older styles, but they've redone them. And now it's called, help me please in the chat. So these look like Art Deco style earrings. They're not true Art Deco, but that is something else I would pick up as well. And like just funky fun stuff. Like they're little clowns, right? They're little clowns. They've got these weird little pom-poms. Retro, that's not quite the word I'm thinking of, but that would work too. Oh, what's the word, you guys? Okay, so these little clowns, they're not marked with a name or anything, but I just thought they were so funky weird. Reproduction. Did I say reproduction and then just not say it out loud? Repop. Yeah, exactly. Thank you, guys. Maybe I was saying it and not realizing I was saying it, or no, I don't know. Okay, so something like that that's really unique looking, or these little, like, I know some people like that style of daisies. That's something else I would pick up. And then like really unique stuff that looks old. So here it's like a horse and a horseshoe and these hanging stars, la-di-da. So something like this would also be something that I would pick up. That would be, again, not, well, that one actually does have a mark on it. So there's a little mark right there. Okay. I'm looking through all my stuff here to see, is there anything else that I haven't told you? So those are the kinds of things, like if you're first starting out, to pick up. Okay. And the things this is the stuff I would leave behind. This is like Mardi Gras beads and broken stuff, or like really, I don't know, cheapy stuff, right? So this is stuff that I am going to maybe put in a craft lot, or if it's missing stones, things like that, like just leave it, especially if you're first starting out. Then, you know, like these are, they look like moonstone, but they're not, they're glass, but you could put like moonstone looking glass, or there's a way to word it where it's not going to get you in trouble. So, or enamel. And there's lots of other, I've done a lot of other videos, and I'll probably do another one where it's like other things to pick up and look for. But that's a good start, especially if you're just beginning, right? What do I think of the Stone Identifier app? I like the idea of it, but I've had so many times where it showed the wrong thing or gave the wrong stone that I just kind of like, I don't know. Okay, I think that's those. So now I wanted to show you, one, if you don't know what the mark is, how do you figure it out? And then two, let's say you find a piece of jewelry and it's got like something like this, and you're like, that looks so familiar, but I don't know what it is. You can ask in a group, but sometimes, unfortunately, there are groups where they're not so nice about asking questions, or like they try to make you feel dumb for asking. I have a group called Texas Gals Jewelry Lovers, where that's like a big no-no. You're not allowed to do that and be ugly to people, because everybody starts somewhere and nobody knows everything. And what is it with people that want to act like they know it all? Anyway, so if it's got a mark, where'd the other one go? So I had one that had a mark. Oh, the bright one. Okay, let's do the bright one. So let's say you've got this one with a little hang tag and it's got a B, right? I go, oh, there's my Facebook group in the files. Yeah, there's files for that. So what you'll do is I'm going to take a picture with my phone, and then I'll share it. Fancy, we're technology-ing. So I'll take my phone, and just on the app, or the photo, I'll zoom in, take a picture, and then I'll show you. I'll send it to my computer real fast. So just take a little picture of what the hang tag looks like. And then what we're going to do is, when you open a new tab, I'm going to open it up so you can see the whole screen share. Here we go. Window. Here we go. When you come over to Google, open please. Here we go. When you come to Google, let me make me smaller. And you see this little pictures thing right there. What it will let you do is drop a picture in. Let me see if I received, did it come through? I may have to go get it again. Oh, there it is. So you'll take the picture and you'll just drop it there. And then this Google search will pull it up and it'll tell you, oh, what is it? Okay, designer, Brighton, silver tone, blah, blah, blah. So you can see what it is, right? Same thing with this. Some of you probably already know what this is, a symbol. But if you, I mean, just, I use this for, sometimes there's like toys I get or things of that nature where I'm like, I know it's from a cartoon, or I know it's from a Pokemon, but I don't know what Pokemon it is. And if you drop it in there, it'll show you like, okay, what's this from? This is, oh, it's Prince, the artist formerly known as Prince, right? So that will give you, and that's just on Google. Just go to Google and it's an image search. One more time, I'll show you. So just go like you're going to regular Google, and then right there, click the little picture button for an image search. Then what I was going to do is show you, hang on, let me close off all these windows popping up in my face. Let's see. Oh, you love the clowns. Let's see. Okay, so let's start with a piece of jewelry. Say you're like, okay, I picked these up. Now what do? I don't even know. I got these little daisies. I don't know what they're worth. I don't know what to sell them for. I'm gonna drop one. Then what I would do at this point, new screen share, window. And I would just come over and I would start just with daisy earrings, right? So I'm looking at daisy earrings, and what I'm trying to do is figure out what's the closest to mine that look like this. So one thing that I can do is, okay, are they stud or post earrings, or are they drop and they dangle? So you can start there, because you can see like these are post or stud earrings, and then these are dangle. So I might add that to my I might put dangle here. Daisy, dangle. Sometimes you'll see drop, but this is a great way too. If you're like, I'm just starting, I don't know what to call this. So you put in, start putting in dangle and you'll see, okay, other people are putting drop as well. So those are other good keywords. So if you're not sure, I don't know how to keyword this. Okay, well, dangle / drop style. And then another thing is that they have, like an inset. They're not stone, they're plastic. So going from there, you can start looking to see, like, do I see anything that's kind of like mine, to get some other keywords? Maybe I'm going to put plastic in. I try to avoid putting plastic in because it makes it sound cheap. But I like to look and see if I see any other keywords that'll be similar to what I've got. So I'm not seeing anything popping right out at me. But what I'll do is I'll come back and I'll click on sold just to see. And sold here to see if I see anything like that. And at that point, here's something kind of similar, right? White and yellow, dangle, drop, daisy. Oh, I'm too big. You can't see that. So here you can see those are kind of similar. Okay. And okay, that's not bad. $9-10 on that one. And I know there are some resellers that are kind of snobbish about listing things for lower prices. But to me, it's like, if I got these in this jewelry box that I maybe spent $40 on, I got all this jewelry for $40, less than $1, maybe a quarter that I spent on these. And if I sell them for $10, then I'm probably going to make like an $8 profit. And the way I look at it is, yeah, of course, if I'm looking at it like, oh, I need to pay my electric bill, that's $100 or whatever my electric bill is. Or I look at it like $8, I mean, that's going to get me eggs and milk from the grocery store. So you just shift your perspective to like, no, that's fantastic. Of course, everybody wants to make nothing but hundreds and hundreds of dollars in each sale, but realistically, what are you going to be able to do, right? So, and then here you can also see, like, this person sold theirs, right? They won, they sold it. What words did they use? Because you had that question. Where'd you go? Where'd your question go? Okay, there it is. What kinds? Oh no, I lost my thing. Go back. What kinds of keywords do you use when it's cool jewelry with no marks? And this is exactly what I do. I'll go see, and I tend to go to the ones that have sold already because they're winning, right? Good for them. No jealousy there, but they did something right. Okay. And I'll see what they put: white and yellow, daisy flower, gold dangle drop earrings. So, and they put the measurements in there and they put spring. I wouldn't necessarily put adorable. That's just me. And I usually will put the measurements in the description. But that's just me again. But I did bring this to share. When I take my pictures of jewelry, like I have a picture, they use the dime, which, that works too. I would have a picture of it with the measuring device in the photos. Okay. So, and then at that point, I just start looking at like, okay, what other keywords do people use for their earrings? I kind of have an idea for my price. And then another thing I see a lot of, and from China, I'm going to eliminate that real quick. So to eliminate that, let me make this bigger so you can see better. I'll come over to the side panel, scrolling. Apologies if it's making you dizzy. I'm going back down. Sorry. US only. So if you're in the US or North America, you can pick what you want. And then I can just see, like, what do people put? Yellow daisy flower. And they might put the type of clasp it is, like back hoop, dangle, flower power. So there's another like flower power kind of keywords that people would use. I just go and I harvest the ones that from solds that work, that seem to be selling and doing well, because they're winning at it. Good job. So that's what I would do if I didn't know. So let's pick another piece. So let's say I've got these reproduction. Look at me with words. I know you helped me. Thank you. Reproduction, but I do know my style. That's Art Deco style earring. So we're going to put a reproduction Art Deco drop earrings and go and see what we see. And I want to say emerald green, right? I want to say emeralds because it's not really emeralds. Emerald green, and see how that goes. So here's one. Oops. These are sold, simulated emerald vintage Art Deco. Those are really pretty. I'm going to take off US only real fast. And scrolling down a little more. Some of these are real, y'all. So that kind of throws me for a loop because, ooh, you need to see bigger. So now I've got to figure out, how do I narrow it down? Because these are more like real legit ones. So here's another one that's kind of statement. Can you see it? Okay, yeah. Art Deco kind of flowy ones. Ooh, they've got lots of real ones in here. So here's, yeah, no, that's emerald and lab created. So you kind of get the idea of what I'm doing though. Like here's this Art Deco style emerald green one sold for 14. Yeah, so I would just go through and look at this in this way. And honestly, if I am looking at these earrings, and I know, right, they're gorgeous, and I'm trying to figure out like, okay, do I do it more towards the $20 mark or more towards the $80 mark, depending on the reproduction and how nice they are? Because believe me, there's some reproduction Art Deco jewelry that could sell for probably as much as some of the real stuff if it's really, really nice, right? But this one, you know, the back is not like super fancy. It's not in sterling. You can see that there's some kind of discolorations in this area. Is it uniform with that? Let's find out. We've got somebody who's a treat in the live chat. Somebody's a little jealous. Somebody's learning something new. Anyway, sorry, you came to the wrong chat. I don't get down. I have fun with my trolls. So these ones I might not sell for a whole lot, just because I can see here that y'all in the chat, go get her or him, whoever it is, go get him. Tell them where to go. Anyway, so these I might not sell for a whole lot because you see they're not uniform. Somebody might not care. Like if somebody's getting these and like I just have my flapper costume that I'm wearing for this party and I want to wear these and I don't want to spend a ton of money for my costume, then these, you know, I might put these up for, you know, like $15, $17 and with best offer, because I can see, you know, they're not perfect, but they're still sellable, right? Somebody might still want them for that. What is it with people? That scarcity mindset, y'all. You just got to say no to that. Then, now I've lost my train of thought here a little bit. So like these ones, they say guess. So this one makes it pretty easy. You just type in, you know, guess, hoop earrings, gold tone, and type in what you've got there. And I'm looking to see if there's anything else I forgot to tell you. If you're in the chat and you're one of my friends that sells jewelry as well, and you're like, don't forget to mention this, Margaret, let me know, because I feel like I've hit a lot of good spots here. And hi, Joni. How are you? Nice to see you. Or if there's any other questions that pop up in your mind that I can answer before I head off. So like this one that was the Prince one, while this got this ball chain necklace and it's, you know, not silver or whatever, on the back there's a date, you know, I would still sell this because, yeah, it might not sell for a lot, but somebody who loves Prince, or maybe again, they're making their costume and they want to go as Prince and they got the heels, they got the hair, they need the symbol, they need the guitar. So there you can sell it to them like that. All right. Should I sell jewelry as a niche or in my current sell everything store? That's a good question. I sell everything, and I see it going back and forth with people that are like, they set up a whole separate store for just one niche of what they've got. I just put everything in categories and I sell it all in one store. But I could see it working either way, depending on how you are listing. Like if you're because a lot of times the algorithm, I know this is kind of tricky the way people talk about it, but as you're listing and you're in eBay or what platform you're on is seeing that you're active in your store, can kind of push you up a little bit in rank. So there's that as well. Like, am I gonna be as active, make sure I'm listing as often over here as versus over here? Yeah, I just put it all in one store. I tried a while back having just like vintage books when I was doing a lot of vintage books, and it didn't go. It's just easier for me. Yeah. Blah, blah, blah. Michelle is asking an easy way to distinguish glass beads. So depending on the glass, there's lots of websites out there, but there are some that I know by sight. Like there's some that are called dichroic glass, which I wish I had an example of for you here, which almost looks like it's under the glass and it's like really super shimmery, almost with a black behind it. And that's one that like they chemically, I don't know the exact process for how they make it, that they've done stuff to. And then there's ones called layer cake. I feel like I've done a video on this. I've been making videos forever and ever. But there are lots of different styles of glass. So you're right. It's like, how do I distinguish? And it just comes with time. Like I do not know them all, but there are ones you're like, okay, I remember that one. Click, it's in there. Okay, then you start learning the next one. Okay, that one's layer cake, or that one's, what's another one of the ones where it's got like the baubles on the outside? My grandmother used to make it. Like she did porcelain arts, and she would use this like fused glass, like melted pieces of glass on it. So it was really pretty. So there's definitely sites for that. And also if in Texas Gals Jewelry Lovers, there's probably a file in there, or if you find something, search in there. I'm sure somebody's asked, like, which kind of glass is this? Or is there a chart? Yeah, but that's definitely good, for keywords. And then, okay, I haven't discussed that. Yeah, maybe I missed it. How do you differentiate stones like turquoise from dyed stones? So, Jerome, that's a good, I'll come back to that one second. Usually, let's see if I have anything handy. I don't think I do. Well, we're going to pretend. We can put our, I'm going to leave my kindergarten teacher at the door. That's me when I used to be kindergarten. Let's put on our pretending hats today, class. We're going to pretend that these are turquoise, right? So when you're looking at, say, a turquoise necklace or bracelet, something where they're strung together, this is a lot easier to check. With the beads, what you would do is kind of tilt and look in the hole, right? Ask its permission, of course. And then when you are looking around the hole of the stone, if it's turquoise, it's going to be blue all the way through, right? But sometimes those dyed, there's some good ones out there though, but sometimes those dyed stones, when they are rubbing against each other, rubbing against the strand, it'll start showing in that area that it's white underneath or a different color underneath, because that howlite is white, but they will dye it and it looks really convincing as turquoise. So being able to tell the difference is important. So for sure. And Jaron, I hope I said your name right. Glass is usually cool to touch. Totally. Yeah. When you're grabbing up, like say these earrings I've got, glass and natural stone, will be cool to the touch. Sometimes they warm up faster depending on the stone or what have you. And then plastic is just like room temperature, like you said. Yeah. What else? There's so many things. There's so many things that we could dive into on this one, but I think that's a good start, hopefully. And if you have more questions, let me know in the comment section later so that I can kind of break things down a little more, because I feel like this is an area that a lot of people could get into selling jewelry. If you don't have like a lot of space at home and maybe you're in an apartment or you have limited space for inventory, jewelry is a great place to start, a great thing to sell, because it doesn't take up a lot of space. And there are so many different, it's easy to photograph, it's easy to ship, it's easy to like here, like natural stones. That's one I would grab. I think there's a mix of glass and stones with this one though. But it's just easy, right? So I hope that you find this helpful, and don't let the haters out there tell you that the market is flooded or what have you. That's just them being paranoid or worried about themselves and not realizing that the world is full of everything and there's plenty out there for everybody. So that's why I don't mind sharing, because I know what it meant to me. Here we go. I'm going to get on a soapbox. I know what it meant to me to start reselling and get out of like a really rough situation and be able to be independent and get out of a bad marriage, because I was able to start selling, reselling, making money, being on my own. And so I 100% want to pay that forward, because I know what it meant to me and then my kids and like everything. It was everything. So if I can do it, you can do it. It takes time, but you just learn and don't be afraid, and don't let. That's one of the things early on. I had a lot of more established sellers try to discourage me or tell me that I was doing it wrong or da 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 da. And at first I listened, and then I was like, this is so dumb, right? Okay, I do what I want, and just do what you want and have fun with it, right? Do it. Okay, there we go. I'll get off my soapbox. How do I store? I actually recorded a video yesterday about storing all my inventory. But what I've got is one of those, it looks like you get it at the hardware store, but I didn't. And it has all the little bitty drawers, right? And so I just have like earrings in one and necklaces in one. And then I just have a shoebox tote that's labeled bracelets. And all the big chunky bracelets that wouldn't fit in one of those little drawers, or like this, I'll have one that's labeled necklaces. And then I'll have this, and I'll just like put it in a plastic baggie like so, and put it in with my necklaces. It's nothing fancy. And I just put a label on the outside of the little plastic shoebox. Necklaces, right? It doesn't have to be my store. My inventory storage is not as fancy as some people's, but I know fault. I mean, no, everybody does their own thing. But I'm like, I have tried doing the storage system where it's like box A, box B, box C. And I'm like, I can't, my brain doesn't work like that. I'm like, I need to find necklaces. Where's the necklaces? Oh, they're here. Okay. Where's the plush? Oh, the plush is in the plush box. Because that's just the way my brain works. So everybody has to figure out what works for them, right? Oh, you're welcome so much. You recently got in. I'm trying to get more jewelry videos out there. I've had some requests for that, and then the jewelry in our jewelry group as well. So any place where y'all are kind of, not, I won't say stumbling, but where you like, hey, this is where I'm at. Like, I could use some help in this arena. Like, send me a message or leave a comment so I can like, okay, I can kind of make sure I'm targeting what's needed, from my friends out there trying to get through it. I learned it because I love silver hunting. Found so much silver jewelry for, oh, nice. Yeah, penny. I remember the first time I was at a garage sale and I started selling jewelry. I started with men's accessories, cufflinks, tie tacks, tie bars, collar pins, because it was like, okay, I can recognize that. And I just started baby stepping from there. And so then I started looking for silver, and this lady had these charms, like for a charm bracelet, and they were sterling, they were marked, and I think I bought 3 or 4 of them, and she was 10 cents a piece. And I felt so bad. I was like, they're silver though. And she's like, I don't care, 10 cents a piece. I'm like, okay, here you go. And I found like 2 of the diamond rings that I have. I have one diamond ring that I got at a garage sale for 75 cents and another diamond ring that I got at a garage sale for $8. And they were just like, I just want it gone. And to them, there was no, that's what I'm saying. It's a thing. Like, you could put a value on anything. I could say, this is made by Gucci, Versace, Donatella. And I say that this is worth $300,000. And then there's somebody that's like, oh my gosh, I have to have it. Or I can say, this is just a horse with a pin on its back and it's worth 25 cents. It's just, value is in the eye of the beholder. So I just ride it. I just ride it. All right. Thank you. I appreciate that, Daisy, so much. Thank you so much. All right. I hope this video was helpful for y'all. Wow, we went for almost an hour, and I will keep you posted and make some more refined videos for the jewelry to help out. And yeah, I hope you have a really great day and good luck out there treasure hunting. Bye, everybody.